Hello, hello. Hold on. I wanted to do this a particular way. Uh, okay.
All right, so we got the full summary.
Okay. Just seems like some people are late. Um. Hold on. Okay. Just hello. Hello, Derek. Yeah, the hip hop historian is here. The hip hop historian is here. Okay, I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in. And I apologize if the fan in the background is too loud. Oh, hello, Striker. Welcome. I apologize if the fan in the background is too loud. Um, it's the summertime in Florida, so I apologize about that. I just wait for a few people to come in. And again, hello, Jerry. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Yep, waiting. Yeah, just for a few people to come in. Okay, let me make sure as many people are aware. Oh, it's out of sync on there. It was out of sync. It was out of sync. It was out of sync. Okay, it started in about a few minutes. And yes, it is, Derek. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, let me go ahead and do it again. Hold on. I have to use this because I don't want it to be copyright strike. Or
The life of an anime
wait, no,
fan
no, no.
is filled with
Wait, no,
questions.
no. Okay, okay, perfect. Had it on autoplay. Any do not want a copyright strike at all. Already had one of our videos for last year to get one, and I'm still saddened by how that happened. If anyone remembers it, it was the TMNT video short that I did, and it was copyright struck on YouTube, which is interesting because much bigger platforms had also reported on it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. But I'll just take about just a few more minutes. How about this? We'll start at 8:40, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Just letting everyone know, or many more people know that we are live currently. So, but again, thank you everyone who's come, especially come as early as you are. I highly appreciate that. Okay. Just a few more. But before we start, how is everyone doing today? And just to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, all right. Perfect. That's good. That's very, very good. Yeah, I know the feeling. Long days are, very hard, but I know at least for you, Derek, especially I know with your job, they can be a dime a dozen. So so I was going to wear a tie, everyone, to commemorate this, but all of my ties are actually basically in the storage, so I won't be, or most of them are, not all of them. Yeah, longer than the asteroid belt. That is true. Yeah, it's funny. The more enjoyable days are as short as the more enjoyable days are shorter than the attention span of a person who doesn't like supporting black comics, but they want white and Asian individuals to add black characters to their stories. Oh, I'm sorry. But no, I'm not sorry. But did I tell a lie though? Okay, but no, in all seriousness though, thank you everyone for coming. quite a few less people than I expected, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. But again, thank you everyone who has come. 300 subscribers on YouTube. It's been quite a journey. As you know, we just had a live stream earlier this year in February. Partially due to the fact that we reached 200 subscribers earlier this year. And 2 years ago, we had reached 100, and that was the first live stream I did. And, you know, this, I didn't expect to reach 300 at this quick of a pace, especially within the same year. But hey, you know, that's how things happen when you work hard and you get blessed for that hard work. um, I like to reiterate this during the streams for those who don't know. Um, well, we usually don't get new people to come in to view the streams, ironically, but I try to still make sure people know. We started or the Dogs Board, technically started in 2016, but really started in 2017. We didn't make the YouTube channel until 2018, and from there, you know, the YouTube videos were really made more of to be an extension of what the plan was concerning Black history, Black individuals, and just overall nerd culture in the different sub um, topics that we also cover as well. Like Mr. Derek, when he used to, do his amazingly written hip hop articles that sadly we had to stop. But like he is doing a newer writing series on the film industry. So please check that out on all of our platforms. But to continue, we started this the YouTube in particular, like I said, to be an extension, and primarily it was to do podcasting, but to interview Black professionals, business leaders, business owners, um, musicians, athletes, teachers, everyone that has a story, everyone that has a entrepreneurial mindset, everyone that has history, everyone from all aspects of the life that people can learn from and learn more about. The first interview we did is with Miss Kenny on Demps, who she you know be it her main job of her essentially being the director of a nursing home center and convalescent home, but also her in her pageantry work that she does for the elderly. Um, that's something that's amazing, and most people don't even know that existed. From things like we've interviewed, you know, Black female rappers. We've interviewed Mr. Derek himself, the hip hop historian, and we also interviewed and done different things. The smaller videos were made also, um, like the of history videos. They were made, so that those who, let's say, don't want to read or can't read it, let's say people who are blind, and they want us to still, support and consume the things we do. That's why I made the shorter videos, the biographical ones. Um, you know, Overall, those didn't do too well, but I made them not necessarily for them to do well monetarily, but so that we could extend what we do. And Mr. Derek, he since the beginning, for a long time, he was the main editor for many of the videos. Yes, a mission. And the eventually, once things started progressing, and I, took over as the main editor, and you know, primarily do most of the things concerning the production side. We started experimenting with other ones. That's where we did the board review series, the Doc's opinion video, which for those who don't, which our highest video on the channel is a Doc's opinion video, or the it's the highest viewed regular video. It's the one on the Super Mario Bros. Film. How the Doc's opinions came about. was outside of the podcast, I don't really give object or subjective opinions outside of the podcast, which we know we haven't done for a long time. But so people had said they wanted for me to have a less edited and a more subjective form of content from me because they want to pick my brain essentially about certain things. And that's how I made the Dog's Opinion series. That so if anyone wants my actual non-objective opinion on things, and that's what those are for. And from there, our most successful normal video came from there. Then 2020 rolled around, certain things didn't really go well 2020 concerning the success of certain videos that we were really counting on doing well. But so I waited almost a full year to start doing the shorts because the shorts were a reaction to our content overall not doing well, but more in particular after a certain point because certain things, COVID, people's lack of interest, how the algorithms on all the different websites changed, everything of that nature. Well, we decided to do the shorts as a way to try to see essentially how that would affect the business by improving things. Um, you know, steadily, me learning more about how the shorts and how across all almost social media platforms, but in particular YouTube and TikTok, they push the shorts more than regular size videos and even live streams at times. So eventually our shorts became our most successful videos, and that's part of the reason why we make them. As I've made everyone know, um, or a lot of people know, I was particularly hesitant to do the shorts because I will continuously say that in a way they kind of not compromise, but they kind of undermine the very point of what we do concerning the content that we do, because it's not made for people to consume in bite-sized chunks just to have um a little bit of knowledge. I want for people to have as much knowledge if we do, if not more. And that's why we make the videos the way they do it. And because the shorts, you don't get the full meaning and intellectual texture. That's a term I made up just then. Intellectual texture of what we do, of how the content is created. But you know, the shorts are the most successful projects overall. Because our most successful video across all of our platforms um has been the power loader from the Alien versus Predator franchise on TikTok. I think that's over 22,000 views on TikTok, which I'm surprised that video out of all the ones that we've made has gotten that much. But all in all, I want to continuously say again, everyone, thank you for your support. We couldn't have gotten here without you all supporting us the way that you do. But I just want to pause for a second. Does anyone have any questions, anything they would like to say? Yeah, because I see. Thank you, you Derek. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think a few people left actually, because I think, or that may just be a discrepancy on the app versus what I see on the actual live stream. But okay, perfect. So just to continue, um, so yes, the shorts, and that's why you see a lot of them because during the week of Juneteenth, before actually I explain that, um, I want to explain why. Um, because I'm being very particular with my words, because I want for this to be another. Hey, did this the live streams may get unlisted, depending on how this one does over for the past few days. So at least if someone may could come across it, if I decide before I decide to unlist them, um, they'll be able to hear this. I've gotten over the years from various people across my life, and I've told the hip hop historian Mr. Derek about this too, and he knows. Certain people ask, why don't we cover particular subgroups of black people when it comes to different things, right? Well, that's a very loaded topic, and what it has to do with Juneteenth is for a few reasons. One, our number one thing, which is almost like the World Cup of what we do, even though there are times of the year which I can be busier, but the World Cup, the Super Bowl, um, the the summer, which is the Weeaboo worship time for enemy. Okay, let me stop. But what I'm saying is that Black History Month is usually our biggest and usually our boost month of the year. Every form of business, be it entertainment, the um, legal industry, educational industry, any form of industry has a particular time of each year where they have their initial boost. That is the usually a big determinant factor of how they do, be it that quarter, that part, half of the year, or just the entirety of the year. And for us, that's Black History Month. Usually, Black History Month, especially since we started doing the videos and especially the shorts, was a big example of that. Like last year, we didn't do nearly as well as we did this year and the year before last. But Black History Month is our busiest time of the year. As people know, is the Dogs Board has just gone down for over a year, really 2 years. It's gone down to just me and the hip hop historian and things like that. So, and me, and I've taken a lot more responsibility of things, which I mean I already was in the first place, but you know, in a way I've taken a lot more responsibilities of things. So um the time that we already were limited to was even more limited. So the fact that this year did well is great. But we all know too, like I have before I started doing Juneteenth, I did that for Horror Month. And that was primarily because of the nerd culture aspect of what I do and what we do as a whole. You know, October, even though I don't celebrate Halloween, I don't celebrate that holiday, believe in it. The month is still synonymous, essentially, just like December almost with pop culture, nerd culture, because of the various things that happened in that month. So that's why we started doing the horror month, or I started doing it. From there, and that also has been a pretty decently done month in terms of our numbers. The first year I did it, I did different Black horror figures, like Torque from the Suffering video games, or Blade, Candyman, etc. Um, as time and once we get to the 30-minute mark of the live stream, I'm going to actually do the announcement that I was talking about, but because I want to go ahead and finish this. But and they do decently well. Like I said, most of our projects don't do too well, but they do decently well. Um, so I decided to do the Juneteenth project starting last year, just because that's a big day for Black people, but and especially Black Americans. For those who don't know, I'm half Jamaican, half Black American. So both aspects of my culture is shown, but in particularly Juneteenth, that's a particular day. And, I decided to say, hey, since we are Black History 366 days a year, I added an extra day, leap year. We decided to do those shorts. It was only really just from that Wednesday or Thursday to the ending of the week for last year. And that did pretty well. This year I decided to turn it up a notch to make it an entire year. I'm not sorry, an entire week. So from Sunday all the way to Saturday. And for those who follow us, I did 10 the entirety of the week, 10 shorts. I did 4 shorts on the day of Juneteenth. That is the most amount of projects that I've uploaded within a single day. But with that being said, from there, and excuse me, but the ums and ahs is, like I said, it's hard. But from there, a lot of people have, asked before and after that, why don't we do projects for more specific subgroups of Black people? I barely have enough time to do Black History Month and Juneteenth. And I am looking into doing other things, but it has to be a sizable thing that I have to work into the schedule. The Dogs Board is a huge part of my life, if not the main aspect of my life, outside of other things, when I'm not working in school and things of that nature, or really education as a whole. So because of that, or we're scratch school, but what I'm saying is that, or I used to be, but what I'm saying is that we can barely find time to do things we do now. And when I have done projects featuring real life and fictional people in specific Black subgroups, those projects usually bomb even worse than most things that we usually do, even the amount of time and effort we put into it. Sorry to say that. Also, to add to that, us going out of our way to address certain subgroups of Black people just because they're part of a subgroup, one would be it would be giving them special treatment, but even outside of that, some of those subgroups include non-Black people as well. So, which can also be racist and things of that nature. So it wouldn't make sense for us to do projects, particularly for Black people, particularly because they are a part of those subgroups, when those subgroups as a whole can still have non-Black people who don't even like Black people within those subgroups. It doesn't make much sense. So that's part of the reason I have to explain that. That's part of the reason why we do not do certain projects for particular subgroups of Black people. Now, what I will say, hopefully going into next year, you will see a lot more Black oriented holidays. In particular, June, I didn't know this because a lot of people didn't know June is Black Music Month. So what do you think I'm going to prioritize? Doing something for particular subgroups or Black Music Month and Juneteenth? Like, let's be honest. What do you think that I'm going to prioritize? Black Music Month and Juneteenth in June, or something for particular subgroups of Black people that also includes other people that are non-Black? So, with that being said, you may we may be doing something for Black Music Month as a whole next year. I think it shows me only one person is in the live stream. That's surprising, to be honest. If anyone is listening, could you say something in the chat? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Derek. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Wow. So this YouTube is off then. This YouTube is off when it tells me how many people are here. Okay. Yeah. Illustrator. But no. And I know people can kind of guess what I mean by subgroup of Black people. Or subgroup of people as a whole. Now, the announcement. So I will be holding a giveaway. It's been a little while since I did one, but you all get to hear it first. I will be holding a giveaway, technically two. Now, for those who came to this live stream, sorry, I can't do it for Mr. Derek because he is part of the Dogs board. But for those as part of the live stream, I will be sending you two something. So essentially, it's like this. It's going to be for a Amazon gift card. It's going to be for a $20 Amazon gift card. Now, particularly, for those who came to the stream before the 30-minute mark, and that will be, and who participated in the chat, because I was, again, if someone mysteriously is here and I wasn't able to see that you were in the chat, is like I said, I don't know. But in particular for Mr. Striker and Mr. Jurion, I will be messaging you all personally through Discord. About I will be sending you a smaller denomination of Amazon gift card money for your participation. Also, this too though, Mr. Derek, I will be speaking to you too about something as well as my token of gratitude. But I am holding a overall though $20 Amazon gift card. Can Okay. Yeah, I'm holding a Amazon gift card. It's going to be basically $20. And it's going to essentially be. I'm going to pick a random person. I'm going to make a post. Be on the lookout to when it's going to be, but I'm going to make a post. On one of our platforms. Again, for those who are listening to the restream, to the video version of this live stream, and I will be asking a particular question about our work, and depending on who gives the best answer that I depend, they will be winning that small contest for the $20 Amazon gift card. So again, now Mr. Striker and Mr. Jurion, you two, even though I'm still giving you two something too, also because partially too because you two are Discord mods as well, and you've helped with that tremendously over the last few years. You two can still participate in the $20 gift card contest as well, and the gift card will be sent through digital. So it will be sent either to your phone numbers or your emails, but I'll get that information from you. But yes, that is the contest. So again, be prepared to see what we're going to do, because this next week, or really the rest of this month and going into June, and then my birthday month, September, is going to be August. And then my birthday month, September, things are going to be very, very, very pat when it comes to what we will be doing. So be on the lookout for that. Um, but about the contest so far, does anyone have any questions? Okay, I take that as a no. So now, um, okay, yes, sir. I guess your striker. So, one thing I will say, um, how can I word it? For a lot of the times, in particular, when it comes to, because I addressed this in a meeting, in two of the meetings actually, but in particular, one of the dogs boards, I mean, the dogs bulletins that we've done, because I wanted to address this during this live stream as well. A lot of times when people will see that, especially over the past 2 years, we've slowed down on the interviews that we've been releasing. We've always been sparingly on our videos, but in the interviews in particular, we've slowed down on them. But it's not on purpose. People know if I have to interview 10 people in 1 month and get all those interviews done, hey, people know I'll put myself into a coma to edit everything and record it and schedule it. Those people who I've interviewed have known that I've even taken off from work in my past jobs before uh to come to basically or got off from work early to basically try to make the interview scheduling more comfortable for people, and people still had to reschedule. So with that being said, a lot of times when you see a large gap, not just when it comes to the videos, but in particularly the interviews, it's because a lot of times a lot of the individuals, they get busy essentially, but they keep rescheduling things. And a lot of people who we reach out to, especially there was I've told this story before. There was this black voice actress who a few years ago we be doing an interview with. She is a voice actress and singer. Um, her views and things that she does across the internet is doing very, very well, and she's been in professional projects before that were on TV and things and commercials. In particular, we're going back and forth with the email. Uh, they tell me that basically there's a particular time that we're supposed to be doing it. I cleared my schedule in that time in that following month, and I had other opportunities for different things as well to do at that time, but I still cleared it for that person because that's how I am. If people know me when it comes to business and anything with dealing with other people, I'm very strict when it comes to that. So even if I tell someone I'm going to be somewhere at a certain time, even if let's say there's a family event coming up, or let's say I'm sick, if I tell somebody I'm going to be there at that time, I'm going to be there at that time. You know, to me, you can't be a good business person and not be able to keep time. So a lot of instances when we will not have a lot of interviews is because the individuals who are supposed to be doing the interview with, they continuously reschedule and never get back to us. Like there's been people who are quite famous people who I've interacted with across the different platforms, and then when we're supposed to be doing the interview, I don't hear back from them, but I still see they do interviews with other platforms. So again, we obviously don't get a copious amounts of views from the interviews because that's not why we do it. This is still a business, but in parts of our businesses, we essentially still have to stick to our mission and plan. So if people always wonder or confirm to me, well, why don't you interview this person? I may have reached out to that person already, but issues probably arose from it. So there's that when it comes to that. So that's a good explanation. And again, now for videos as a whole, part of the reason why we may have less normal sized videos as a whole is because we've been making the shorts, and the shorts have been successful. Because I want to go ahead and say, we're at 300 subscribers, but now that I'm checking and I want to get this correct number for everybody, we are at, from what I can see as a whole, 66,570 views as a whole on YouTube, which is wow. I never thought that we would have gotten those many views. But yeah, 66,570. So we're not that far from 100,000, which is excellent. Very excellent. Very excellent. But before I continue, does anyone have any questions or any statements you want to make? I'll wait a minute and a half just before I move on, just to make sure people don't have any. I'm glad we did as well, Derek. I'm glad we did as well. Can I just wait just a few? Little bit of time. Okay. All right. So just going back to what I was saying. So also as well, uh just a few updates for what we have planned. So I have a interview that you may have saw the advertisements for last week. That should hopefully be out. If it's not by out this weekend, early next week. And for the streaming and download version, then the YouTube version will be out after that. But also, um, going into this weekend, I will be recording another interview as well. So that will be two interviews, essentially back to back to back, very similar to what happened last year with the interview we did with TVC and Mr. Apato Rex. So hopefully that turns out well as well, or both of those turn out well as well. I'm going to be producing another review, hopefully, for the second chapter of Bitterroot, but again, I have to go back to the script for that one. Uh, be prepared to may see another Doc's opinion on a particular franchise that may have to do. You know, let me. I'm going to hold that for later because that would be me speaking too much. Be prepared, hopefully, to see another writing piece from Mr. Derek, the hip hop historian tomorrow, and just be prepared to see because we have a lot of things planned and incoming. This is like I said, usually the second, even though February is the arguably busiest month, the second half of each year is usually overall busier than the first half. So that's how that goes. Now, concerning the Discord meetings and why I stopped doing them, it's for the main reason, or stop doing them as much. People don't come. It's usually only one or two people in the meetings, and usually when I ask people if they would like, copies of the recordings, like people usually don't respond, or if I ask them, let's say a few weeks to months later, if they listen to them, most people say no. So that's why we don't do the Discord meetings, and why I'd rather just do a Docs bulletin. And if people want um a deeper explanation on what they say, or essentially, or have questions about certain things in the Docs bulletin, then that's going to be done, probably message to you or text to you, etc., depending on the platform. Um, Outside of all of that, to be honest, I expected a little bit more people to come, but outside of all of that, I would like to again say thank you all for coming. I would like to again say, you know, doing this, this takes a lot of time for what we do, and I like doing it. This is a part of my life, and I hope that you all have hoped enjoying learning as much as we have as this time has gone on. Um, as a young black man in this country and really in this world, as I've said before, in the first live stream, I've had friends and family make fun of me. People demean what I do. People not um, value it as they do other things. I've been told by a person before that they like what I do, but they don't really consume it because it's not marketed them in a certain way. So they basically saying that they have the cure to I have the cure to their disease, but because it's not in a quirky television commercial, they don't want to take it. So many different things have been happening. So many different struggles, ups and downs. You know, the time, but all of it is worth it because whenever, yep, yes, Jerry, I think Ax, I think the funniest reaction to when I said that was from Triforce because Triforce had called. He said he called the person a funny word once I told them what they said. But yes, people have outright told me that they like what I do, but because it's not presented in a certain way, it's back to the point of people would rather accept a lie if the lie is softer than the truth. No one is yes, in a certain way, how the truth is said matters. But what I've noticed with a lot of people is no one else is telling the truth. So if 1,000 people are telling lies and one person is telling the truth, to me, it doesn't matter how the person is saying the truth. because no one else is saying it. So that's the only option you have to understand it, and that's kind of, I know most people don't see it that way, but just from a logical standpoint, I care more about the truth being told than how it's told when there's no one else saying it. But but going back to what I was saying, yeah, like we've been through so many different things, ups and downs, you know, certain projects that didn't work out like we've hoped. A lot of it, I had a person tell me that, I'm too hard on myself, and I'm not hard enough on other people. In a way, I can agree with that. Certain things that I've learned is out of my control, and I can't control certain things uh, that happen unless it's within myself, and that's something that's hard to come to grips with. I'm the first one to blame myself if something doesn't go well, but I shouldn't be doing that, especially in many circumstances. So, um, that's been a struggle doing that. But you know, as a whole, though, I value everyone who came, everyone who listens, everyone who watches, and I'm grateful. You know, God has blessed me to be able to do what I do, and it's always nice when there's a person from a completely different country, state, who's never met you, who tells you that they enjoy what you do and like what you do. That hasn't happened as much, let's say in comparison to other people, but that has happened a few times, and I thank you. But before we close, was there anything else anyone wanted to say? Anyone wanted to ask, or any topics few people wanted to bring up? Because I could go for a few more minutes to talk about something, but like I said, any questions, any statements, any topics, anything before we go? I'll give it about 2-3 minutes. Oh yes, Jerion. For those who don't or listening, Jerion is where we're partnering up for a video. He asked me, I think was it earlier this year or last year, what would I like to see a video on? And then let's just say for those who know Jerion personally, Mr. Jerion personally, and who see his videos, you should have a pretty clear idea on what he's going to be talking about and how that applies to us, the Dogs Boy in particular, and what mainly we focus on. I'll say a particular Japanese company, for those who care about um, representation in non-black media. There's a particular Japanese company that people love that does more of that, surprisingly, than people think they do when it comes to black representation. But Mr. Jerion will be showcasing that. But if outside of that, if that is all, everyone, um, again, thank you, everyone. Depending on how many views this one gets, because I notice our live streams get less and less views every live stream. But depending on how much this one gets from a few days after this comes out, I may unlist the previous ones. All depends. So if anyone is interested in seeing them, they would have to ask for a link. But it all depends, though. But if that was all, everyone, thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Again, I will be reaching out to all three of the individuals here. Again, I'm grateful. Doc signing out.